Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, we'll be discussing the 2017 film, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Now, of course, this film is kind of like an indirect sequel to the original Jumanji film, which, of course, I haven't seen. But when the original film starred Robert Williams, this came out in 1995, so more than 20 years later, or 22 years later, the sequel came out, starring The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. It had Jack Black, was also in this film, and I forgot the names of some of the other cast members, but they're pretty much forgettable actors for the most part, except for one other guy, the black guy's in this thing. But anyway, this movie, it's not bad. As I happened to catch this movie when I was on jury duty. I am not kidding. I was on jury duty. The courthouse in Jamaica, Queens, in Sullivan Boulevard. They were blasting this. They were blasting the sound of this movie, and of course, everybody was watching it, getting a kick out of it. So on cable, on FX, because repeating this movie like 100 times a day, or at least it feels like it. So I figured, let me watch this whole movie and see how it goes. Well, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, shows a bunch of teenage kids who, there's about 4 of them, who ended up getting detention. And they were told by the principal to clean out this room and put all this old magazines into the recyclables. And take all the staples out and put them for the recyclables and tie them up and stuff. And one of the kids, who is a computer nerd, well, not so much a computer nerd, but also a video game nerd, and ended up finding this old game. Of course, at the very beginning of this film, like a kind of teaser sequence. Excuse me. In 1996, actually, there was a kid that went missing, and the family never found him. The house is now closed up. It's kind of like a spooky house. And they never knew what happened to this kid. But now 21 years later, you have a new group of kids, like I said, got detention and having to find this old video game called Jumanji. And there were like 5 avatars they could pick from, but one of them they couldn't use. The other 4 they were able to pick. One was an adventurer, one was zoology, another one is there's a woman who kicks butt, that type of thing. And all of a sudden, all 4 of them get sucked into this game. And one of them, there's like 2 girls, one of them gets transformed into a man, it's Jack Black's character, and couldn't believe that he could transfer to a woman. I think it's like Bethany, I think the character's name, is now a man, and another girl was kind of like a shy girl, so it turns into a smoking hot young woman who midriff the show through the whole film, and she is, the actress playing the part is a beautiful woman, and it's great, and everybody was oogling. When I was watching this doing jury duty, everybody was like going ooh ah over this girl, how smoking hot she was, and she was a smoking hot girl. Well, that's before, and of course the Spencer. The character name was Spencer, who was like geeky little video game nut, turns into The Rock. His avatar becomes, he transforms into Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. For those of you who Trump supporters out there, you don't like The Rock anymore because he supports Joe Biden, right? Or he supported Joe Biden during the election. So, and all of you are now going to be no longer wrestling fans because The Rock is a Biden supporter. Anyway, they try to figure out how to get out of this game, and they figured out if they get this gem, which was missing, or should I say, the bad guy in this film, named Bobby Shore. And I know it was on the show Third Watch back in the day, late '90s, early 2000s show Third Watch. He plays the villain in this movie. He has this gem. So all these 4 characters have to do is get the gem from this guy, put it in a certain spot on a mountain, and all they're gonna say is Jumanji, get me home, and scream, Jumanji, and they'll go home. Meanwhile, while the adventure on this adventure in this game, they have to find out this other guy named Alex who was trapped in the game for like 20 years. And we found out, I think it was like reference to the first movie that this guy was trapped in the movie for like 20 years. It's kind of like reference to the original movie. Like I say, I haven't seen the original movie, so I can't really do a proper comparison with the two films. So what happened was, the guy has all three characters. They got like 3 arms, three lines on their arm. Like a stereotypical video game for back in the 80s, where you had like three lives, and if you get killed 3 times, the game was over, and you would die. So by the end of the movie, all 3 characters have at least all 4 characters, or 5 if you count Alex. They all have 1 life left. And so they're trying to make sure they don't get killed, for the 3rd time. And of course, big spoiler, all 3 of them are okay. They do get, eventually, over the course of the adventure, that they do get the gem, do put it back, and they, of course, they all get home. And of course, Alex gets home, and he gets transported back just before he gets lost in the game, back 20 years earlier. So in 20 years, he had like a normal life. It was like he never disappeared. It was like one of those time vortex, the time continuum thing, and it was like the guy never disappeared 20 years earlier. But he did remember his adventure within the game, even though he went back at the time that he was missing, and he ends up getting married, has a kid of his own, has at least a couple of kids, and one daughter that he has, he named after the girl who saved his life, which happened to be the smoking hot girl, in the movie, and it's and he thanked all of them for saving his life, getting him out of the game finally after 20 years, and it was a bad movie. I thought it was going to be terrible because they made the movie before with Robin Williams, and that movie kind of got panned a little bit. But this movie wasn't too bad, maybe because of the performances of the actors were like a little bit better. Sometimes it got a little too cartoony. Like the one who was the character Bethany, I believe her name was Bethany, who transformed into a man. She had to go to the bathroom, and she realized that she had, a male anatomy instead of female anatomy. And she goes, wow, this thing is amazing. And she goes, wow, this thing is amazing. And she goes on and on and on about it. And she was checking out, one of the other characters. She was checking out another guy. He said, hey, we really don't check each other out when we go to the bathroom. And the monk said, yeah, that's right, we don't look. We just do our thing and we get out of the bathroom, and that's it. He goes, oh, that's what you do. That's why you get so fast. Making those types of jokes. But as the movie itself is fairly. I know they made a sequel. It came out in 2019, but I haven't seen it yet. So this is the only Jumanji movie that I have seen. I know there was like Jumanji 2 and a sequel and a third. Excuse me, not a third movie, a 4th film. But like I said, I haven't seen it. But for Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, it's not a bad movie. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. Even though the Rock is in it, and it's kind of some over the top silly moments in it. But even though it has some silly moments in it, the movie takes itself pretty seriously, and it's not bad. If it's an action movie that's not over the top silly, it's pretty good. Like some of the superhero movies, it takes them seriously, but it's like over the top cartoony, at times, of course. But Jumanji is not. Welcome to the Jungle is not a bad movie, and I will recommend it. So that's my review of the movie Jumanji. Welcome to the Jungle. Please check on the video. Please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and on my YouTube channel at rowdyc.com, so WDY, and then C.com. There's a whole page of Rowdy Reviewer, Christy Moore, and please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.